Hello everybody, it's Ken Faulkner, and it's time to do a knife video, a little short one from the collection. This is one I had out on my last big long one. I don't know if you watched that guy. That was a long video. That was crazy. I didn't even realize it. I could just talk about knives. I guess a lot of us are like that. But anyway, this was one of the knives in the collection, and in the video talking about my collection and how my collecting. But man, after pulling it out for that video, I was going, why don't I carry this one more often? And then I kind of quickly realized, because ever since I bought this one, I bought it at Blade Show. I got a great deal on it, and I don't know for sure, but I think it was something that was returned, because in actual fact, it always had this problem with it being off center and it having blade play, and it's always had that problem. And I have no idea why it took me so long to break out the mat, the disassembly mat, and take this thing apart. Because I just did that after work today, and it's all better. It's a brand new knife. It's like, oh man, so nice. And I've talked about how lazy I can be sometimes. And it's just crazy to me that I never did go in. I get nervous. I got kind of a little bit of anxiety, I guess. I get nervous about taking apart knives, losing screws, whatever, or reassembling. I had a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 that I had that it was working fine. I took it apart one time and put it back together, and I had mixed up how the D shape was installed, and I think that's part of what was the problem here, but it wasn't me that did it this time. It was somebody else before I got it, because I know I haven't disassembled it. But man, it's rock solid now. It's smooth. Oops. Comes down a little faster. Anyway, it's pretty smooth. Little shake. Probably could even loosen it up a little bit, but I probably would rather that it doesn't quite drop super hard. If you keep that the liner lock and the ball for the detent out of the way, it drops pretty well. But it's smooth, as a Vero should be. Anyway, I picked up this knife, and I was at Blade Show looking at knives, and I was looking at this one, and it was cheaper than some of the other ones. So I guess it had been returned. And I just didn't ask any questions, going, man, for that price. And I guess I noticed later, but I'm not one of these people that is driven crazy about blade play. I mean, it works fine. It locked up. It wasn't the log wasn't failing or anything like that. It was just always like this, and I tried to tighten the pivot, and it wouldn't tighten. I mean, it was kind of like bottom out to the point, and I'm going, what is going on? Why won't I be able to do it? And it's either a couple things. It could be that the D shape wasn't into the liner where it needed to be, so that kept it separated, or the stop pin. It's got like a couple of little shoulders on it, so it goes into smaller holes, and maybe it was like off center and it was hitting and it wasn't quite locking in. Or this side that's captive, it's captive because of the D shape on the pivot itself, but this screws on. And I remember that I was watching a Lefty video, and he was talking about one of his knives that somebody had sent in because it had this kind of problem. And what it is this piece, even though it doesn't have a screw hole in it or a tool hole, it actually screws on. So he was saying that some of them had backed out, and he was putting Loctite on them to make sure that they don't back out. And if that's backed out, then you don't get enough depth of your screw here to, if this makes sense, to tighten it up to the point where you get rid of all the blade play. So it's one of those three things. I'm not really 100% sure which one it is, but I am super happy that it is working again. And I'll be carrying this guy because it's like a new knife, and it's got that front flipper. It's got this steel, and I don't, it doesn't say on it anywhere it's stainless steel, but I know from looking up on their website that they do work with Damasteel on some of their blades, and it does look awful nice. I mean, that Damascus there looks really good. So it's definitely a high-end Damascus. I think it's Damasteel. Also, when looking it up, I realized, and I kind of knew it was carbon fiber, but this is that in-cut carbon fiber. So it kind of looks different. It's, if you look on the edges here, it's got that regular kind of carbon fiber kind of look. You see that? But it's in-cut, so that this has like almost like a wood grain to it. And it's very cool. I've heard it talked about before, and I just never really paid enough attention. And I don't know what's wrong with me. What is wrong with me? But anyway, I'm super excited. Maybe it just meant to be, because I am so excited. You know, I can't get a new knife right now, but now I got a new knife. It's like a new knife. I'm super excited. Anyway, so yeah, that in-cut carbon fiber is very cool. The shape of it's really nice. It's got all that angular stuff. I was talking about that on the video. He's an engineer by, originally. That was his job before he got into the knives. Whatever, I can't remember his name. Sorry. You know me and names. I met him, talked to him, but I can't remember his name. I know what he looks like. He probably doesn't remember me, but anyway, all this stuff is very angular, kind of cool. It's got its own personality, and people that know when they look at it, without actually having to read right here what it says, will know that this is a Vero knife because of the design. It's like somebody like Arcane Design, certain brands, you look at them and Spyderco, another one, oh, it's so smooth. I'm so excited, guys. But I'm not super into Damascus blades. I like the whole concept of Damascus. I think I'm more excited about them in like fixed blades, the ones where they do all those really fancy patterns. I think it looks so cool. But this one definitely looks cool. And it was just that blade, that it wasn't solid. It moved quite a bit, and when it was closed, it was like way over to one side and it was on the show side because the inset liner lock here, it was pushing it over because it wasn't tight enough, and it was wobbling back and forth, pushed it over against here. I never felt it rub. I never see any kind of rubbing on here, but still, it was way over to one side. And that's the kind of stuff that, I could live with, but it's, it does bug me to a certain extent, but it doesn't like drive me crazy like it does some people. Maybe it's because I'm already crazy. I don't know. You can tell me. If you've watched enough videos, you kind of know who I am and what I'm like. So anyway, here it is, the Vero Axon. I probably didn't mention that. Very cool knife. Just full size. Just in the specs real quick. We got 3 and 3/8 probably, and it's a good 3 1/4 cutting edge. Hand fits great. Good. This Vero clip is very nice. Never had any problem with that. I got a couple of Veros. The action is really excellent. Especially I cleaned it up and lubed it and all that kind of stuff. Nice design. All T8s all throughout. Even inside there was like it's got screws on the inside. You probably see them there, that hold the clip on, and those are T8s. Everything's T8s. Even the inset, or the metal insert on the liner lock is T8s, holding that in. So everything is T8s. Made it good to dismantle, even though I've tightened it down so hard trying to get rid of that, but I still was able to get a good purchase on the screw hole here. So they're making some good hardware. So yeah, awesome knife. Very excited. Nice back spacer, almost the full length there. Yeah, that's it, guys. Full size, good knife. Expensive, especially when you get the Damascus on there. But if you can catch a deal where somebody sends it in because, hey, I can't make it not wobble because I screwed it up or whatever. Lucky me. And now that I got it fixed, it's like brand new. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.